I'll share. Yesterday, I went to pick up a prescription, and I walk into CVS. I have on my mask, and the security guard is a man of color. I'm not going to stipulate what kind of man it is because it isn't important, but he's policing us, right? All the people of color who are walking into the CVS. There's a white woman walking around CVS with no mask on and her dog. There's a sign at the CVS that says no pets unless it's an emotional support animal, and everyone must wear a mask. And so I see this older lady dodging this girl because this girl is just walking through the aisles like she owns the thing. And by the time I got my medicine and I was walking out, I told the person at the counter, I was like, so everybody else is being policed here, but this woman gets to walk around, and she turns around and she says, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I forgot. Mind you, everybody in line behind this bitch looks like Darth Vader. She forgot that she was supposed to be wearing a mask. The pharmacist has a mask. Everybody behind the cashier, the counters, everyone around her has on a mask, but she forgot that she had on a mask. So she walks out. She's like, I'll go get it. It's in my car. But as she's walking out with me, she says, hey, I'm really sorry. I actually really forgot my mask, but that was a bit aggressive. And I was like, no, that was not aggressive. I said, aggressive is me beating your ass right now. That's aggressive. I said, what that was direct and confrontational, because you're being direct and confrontational with your germs while that old lady was dipping and dodging. If you didn't care about anybody in that store, you should have at least cared about the old white lady that was running from you because you didn't have on a mask.
And that's the thing, is like she was a decent person until that privilege came up, right? And so the privilege is, who the fuck you think you are talking to me like this? I know I was wrong, but still you shouldn't be talking to me like that. And that is the thing that we have to address going forward, because we're now in a position where everybody sees what Black people have been talking about. And y'all been treating us like we crazy, like we live in a fucking Twilight Zone. But you see that there's a double standard. It's very clear. And so now moving forward, whenever anybody says it's not about race, I'm going to tell them, kiss my Black ass, because your cousins was scaling the motherfucking Capitol Hill like goddamn Spider-Man. And they walked out of there with a fucking souvenir. So eat my ass from the back, please.
I mean, first of all, I'm here for the eat my ass from the back. That's where I'm at. But you know what? And Chloe and I have talked about this a lot. We did a podcast together. We've done several things together. Chloe and I do a lot of things together where we talk about these issues and also have fun with it. And you know, I always respect where Chloe's coming from, because she's right, and it comes down to like people treating us crazy. What I will add to that, and especially when we talk about the things that are happening at Capitol Hill, is that we keep speaking so loud to people that are not listening about what's going on, and then we keep going, look at what's happening here. See, guys, you see? And it's like, they've been saw, they know. They are not denying the fact that it's happening. They don't give a fuck. And the more we keep trying to get them to see shit that they already know is happening, the more tired we get. That's why I don't open my mouth unless I need to open my mouth directly about some shit. Like I've had my own incident going into CVS, especially on by Stand Up New York on 78th and Broadway, where white people run supreme, and every person that they decide that they want to police is a person of color coming in, checking to see if you got your bags and stuff. And, you know, I remember walking out one day and there was a white woman in front of me and the alarm went off with her, and the alarm went off. It was still going off with me, and there was a Black woman behind me, and the Black woman stops like, oh, does somebody need to check my bag? And I told that Black woman, I said, come on. I said, the white woman had the alarm go off on her. Nobody stopped her. So why are you stopping to get checked by them, which they will do? They will check you. They will use any incident that they can to treat you like a nigga. Don't let them treat you like a nigga. They know there's double standards here. They understand that. Do you think that, and I just want to make this very clear, and I'm going to be quiet because, you know, I can run my mouth on this forever. This system that has been created has been upheld by poor, mediocre white people who have been upholding this system of racism, because underneath this system of racism is classism. So what happened when we saw these poor, mediocre white hillbillies ransack Capitol Hill, which they should have never had access to do? They should have been blowed the fuck up like all Black people would have been if we even had a dream that we were going to do that. Is now that white people of a certain class level that have been using poor whites to keep a divide in race are now going, oh my God, we've sort of mobilized these poor white hillbillies that we wanted to be a scourge on Black and brown people to think that they're powerful enough to access us. They're not us. We need to control this. We need to think, yeah, you gave these poor white people too much power. They think that the Capitol is their home. You got a white nigga sitting in Nancy Pelosi's office talking about, this is my office. Nigga, you live in a single wide and you eat Spam and you fuck your sister. And I'm sure you don't even pay the rent on the double wide or single wide that you living in. So how the fuck do you think you own any space in Capitol Hill? And I'm done. I'm done for a minute.
I would think I think the question is now what? Because we can't really say that, oh, they would have been shot because Black people would have been shot. It's like, no, you can't expect the very body put in place to oppress, like the very body put in place to oppress, you can't expect them to not do it. So yes, we've known all along, and now it's like national news, and now the rest of the country, Black or white and everything in between, know, but now what? Like, there's never been anything really actionable to change. This is just a larger picture of what we see with corporations. It's like, yeah, well, we got our white friends called us. Our white, when George Floyd laid there and died in front of the world, our white friends called us for a week. Now what? When we boycotted whatever, that happened, but now what? There's nothing ever actionable, and that's the only thing that's going to make the difference. And I just don't know, speaking of solutions, I don't know what the actionable course is, because we are trying to rely on the very thing put in place to police us.
But that's the problem. We're relying on that. See, you guys always know about me. I don't give a fuck, right? So whenever and you all have been in various situations with me where we have been approached by white mediocrity or some nonsense, and I will sit there and I will look past them and through them and ignore them because we pay too much attention to them. This shit that's happening on Capitol Hill, all these Black people running around talking about we scared. You should have been scared. We always should be scared because we always in some shit. Let them hee-haw hillbillies, hyped up hee-haw hillbillies, sit there and go for them white people with money, and let them white people with money handle them. This is not our battle. We spend too much time worrying about, do they understand where we're coming from? Do they see how we feel? They do, and they don't give a fuck. So we need to mobilize together. When we had that white week of white people calling and texting and emailing, guess what I did? I went and I watched Zaynab's show in a marathon form because I didn't give a fuck. I got on one phone call by mistake because one of my girlfriends called me and I thought she was calling me about some tea that was happening with Brad Pitt. And then I found out that this was a call about, oh, I didn't know racism. There's no way you don't know racism. There's no way you don't know that Karens exist. Oh, why are Karens happening? Because you sit across the Thanksgiving table from these niggas. They are your family members.
That's right.
They are your people, and we keep trying to get people. It's the same thing in a fucking relationship. If you with a fuck nigga that can't appreciate who you are, you gonna keep telling that fuck nigga to appreciate who you are, or you gonna appreciate who you are, and then that fuck nigga gonna be who the fuck he is.
I instructed the people who watch this show to stand back and stand down. Not our circus, not our monkeys. Like and you and I, we're going to talk about this on your show. So I don't want to get so caught up in this because we're going to do this on your show tonight.
Jump in it. I mean, everybody can hear this because some of these people may not. I mean, they should bring their ass to the show tonight. Zaynab might as well just show up to the show too. Matter of fact, if you're not filming something, you might as well just be there.
I was about to say, ask me what I'm doing first. I may have made sense.
What are you doing, Zaynab? What you got going on?
I've just subscribed to UMC. It's a Black network.
Oh, now it's called All Black. It's called All Black now.
It's all Black, and so I may be getting into a good Vivica Fox flick.
But listen, Monogamy, you gotta watch Monogamy. That's my friend. So it is hilarious, and I know your sensibility. So I'm
writing this down.
It is such a fun show.
It's on UMC.
It's on UMC. At Brett Dismuke, big shout out to my friend Brett Dismuke. Actually, he runs the development over there, and he was the first person to ever give me a deal to make a movie. So he's a Black man. He's all about his people, and I have a lot of respect for him.